We have another caller on the line, Walter, with a tax question from Bay County. Go ahead with your question.
All right.
Thanks.
Yes, I would like to know, how do you go about preventing a loved one from having to pay capital gain taxes on property you leave behind?
Okay.
Okay, that's a great question, Walter.
That's a good question.
It's basically dealing with basis. So go ahead.
Yeah.
And
So,
John.
and I'll let you, if you want to, touch on basis, but my advice to most people is tax questions should go to tax professionals, not lawyers. But I will say this, there are different mechanisms you can create and put homes or anything that's going to be a capital gain item, any properties, into a trust. And so long as that trust owns it, the basis and the capital gain doesn't come into play until you sell it. So it can potentially continue to bring in revenue if it's a revenue producing item or something like that.
And Walter, by all means, when you retain an attorney, ask them the question about step up in basis when you inherit property from the person who has left it to you, because there's a lot of moving parts in our tax code right now, and some of the things that our federal jurisdiction, federal legislature is trying to impose. And one of those is the ever-changing death tax, which goes up and down. And so, Walter, it's a great question, but it deals with a basis question, and the magic word is kind of like a step up in basis. And you want to consult with an attorney who has a tax background that can give you that advice. But you can achieve what you're talking about if you go through the right channels and go through the right hoops and get it done.
And I will say this, in inheritance, the beauty of passing something down either through a will or a trust is that basis, as you're mentioning, the basis is what did you originally pay for it? You as the owner, the person who's going to pass it on. If you paid $100,000 for a piece of property and then you pass away 20 years later and it's now worth $200,000, we're just using round numbers. Hopefully it's a lot more than that. The new value is then 200. And so when your heirs go to sell it, the value basis is at 200,000, and there would be no capital gain between that point. But tax professionals will much better do that for you and advise you. So,
Walter, thank you for that great question.